Osaka were nice enough to send me over their Pro Tour Lobo Groove stick. Now this is a top of the range stick with 98% carbon, 1% Kevlar cross reinforcement and 1% aramid backhand blade reinforcement. It has a low bow with a maximum bow point that lies 200mm from the head of the stick and a maximum height to the bow of 24mm. It also has a groove in the shaft to aid drag flicking. The stick I was sent from Osaka weighed in at 540 grams with a Boss F Hockey Pro grip and had a balance point of 39cm from the head of the stick. The Pro Tour had a really nice feel on the ball. It gave you an excellent level of feedback when dribbling, but also had a really good balance point, which let you utilise that low bow to really execute both 3D skills and flat control of the ball. This combined with a really nice touch compound made controlling the ball with this stick really nice. I found it gave me a lot of confidence when dribbling and taking it into tight situations that I knew that the touch wasn't going to let me down. The stick also has a very good stock grip. It's very thick and absorbs a lot of shock from any bad tackles or miss hits. Being a high carbon stick, the Pro Tour has great power transfer when you're hitting. Again, it has a nice balance, so it's easy to get under the ball and lift it when you want to shoot, but you can also control the ball and keep it flat to the ground with a little bit of a modification to your hitting technique. It has that really thick stock grip that absorbs a lot of the vibrations when you miss hit or on a cold morning here in the UK. That being said, the sweet spot on this stick is really large, so I found it very rare that I got any miss hits. The stick is also very good for slap hitting. You can utilise the groove in the shaft to add whip onto slider passes, so you can add a lot more pace to them. It does, however, mean that you can easily get under the ball if you hit with the wrong part of the shaft when you're slap hitting and cause the ball to bobble. The Pro Tour also has a really nice reverse edge. It has a nice size with a good balance of thickness so you can hit the ball flat, but thin enough so you can get under the ball when you want to lift shots at goal. It also has the excellent power transfer the same as on the open side when you're hitting tomahawk, so you can really fire the ball into the bottom corners. There's not really a lot more to say about the reverse edge of this stick, other than that it is super consistent. So similar to on the open stick side, it's got a very good reverse edge sweet spot, so you always get that consistent power transfer. The low bow groove is really designed for flicking. So it has the maximum legal bow, which means you can very easily get under the ball to lift it. Combined with that excellent touch compound means that the ball stays on the head of the stick, which means it's much better for aiming. When you're lifting passes, you can easily utilise the bow if you want to by rolling the ball up the shaft a little bit and then back down onto the head. This will add power onto your lifted passes, but can cause them to go a little bit out of control if your technique isn't right. Likewise, when you're shooting at goal, it's very easy to utilise the bow. By rolling the ball up into the groove on the shaft, you can whip back through it and add a lot of power. As long as you adapt properly in your technique, it doesn't affect your aim too much and you can add additional power onto shots at goal. The same as with flicking, the stick is really good for overhead passing. Because of the bow, you can get under the ball and easily throw it 40 to 50 yards down the pitch. You can also utilise the groove in the shaft by rolling the ball up and whipping it back down to add distance onto your overheads. But with this, you need to make sure you're utilising proper technique or it can throw off your aim. Because of the grippiness of the touch compound, it will also add spin. This causes the ball to dart towards the right hand side when it bounces. If you can master this, you can use that to your advantage, throwing the ball into space and bouncing it away from a defender for a teammate to run onto. So one of the things this stick is really designed to do is drag flicking. It has a full legal low bow and has a groove in the shaft to aid with adding power onto drag flicks. The groove is very usable, it's excellently placed and very deep, which means you can add a lot of power by utilising it properly. From pickup, the ball travels very easily into the shaft by utilising the groove. The groove holds the ball on the shaft so you can really accelerate through and add a lot of power onto drag flick. The ball is held up at the end of your drag flick on the touch compound on the face. While that loses you a little bit of power, it gives you a lot more accuracy, so it makes it much easier for you to pick out top and bottom corners. Because of the speed that you can whip through on a drag flick, it means it is very easy to lift the ball slightly off the ground. As long as you focus on rotating the head of the stick slightly forward, You can keep the ball pinned to the ground and make it excellent for playing passes in for deflections. That being said, if you really want to, you can fire the ball into a top corner with this stick. I really enjoyed my time with this stick. I thought it gives excellent power when shooting and is really nice to hit on reverse stick. Where this stick really shines though is the touch compound. It was fantastic for controlling the ball and dribbling. Obviously with this stick being a full low bow with a groove, it was fantastic for drag flicking and overhead passing as well. The ease of which you could do the pickup and execute the drag flick utilising the groove in the shaft to add power was truly amazing. I think Osaka have improved on the stick from previous seasons, so I would really recommend giving this stick a try if you can get your hands on it and you really liked their sticks before.